Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today we're doing another episode of Behind the Feed, and I'm here with the very lovely Sophia Carey, or Sophia J. Carey, as she's known. So as usual with these interviews, we're just going to have a bit of a chat about Sophia, who she is, what she does, and take it from there really. So if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I am a predominantly fashion photographer. I'm from London, but I live in Manchester. I do weddings, I do events, started off in music, so I do a bit of everything, but yeah, predominantly do fashion.
And how long have you been doing it for?
Since about Christmas 2015, so going on 4 years.
4 years. So similar amount of time to me in terms of weddings. I've been doing weddings for like 5 years.
Yeah.
But then I've only been doing fashion for like 18 months.
Yeah.
But Sophia was actually one of the first kind of sort of like fashion photographers that I really networked with last year. And then obviously you've seen her when we've done 3 photographers shoot the same model.
2 photographers shoot the same
Two
model.
photographers shoot the same model, yeah, when we're at Dovestone with Veronique. And Sophia is one of 3 photographers that I speak to on a daily basis. We've got like a group chat, so shout out to Megan and Iz.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been meaning to do this video for a long time.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of get started? Did you say that it was music first?
Yeah, like it's a bit weird actually. Like, so when I first started, it's because I study graphic design.
Yeah.
So I got a camera to take photos so that I didn't have to use like stock imagery. So I started taking photos of like streets and just like, you know, like when you start off and you just take photos of anything.
Yeah.
And I knew some people in a like hip hop collective from school, and they were like, "Oh, we like your work, like come to our show." So I went to their show, and then I went to another show, and I went to another show, and I just got to know people like in the hip hop and grime kind of scene when I was about 16, and then.
Yeah, by the way, Sophia doesn't look like it, but she knows more grime artists than anybody else on this planet.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, but yeah. So that's what I started in when I was 16. Did that until I was about 18, and then I moved here, so I'm 20 now. That's kind of how I got started. And when I moved here, the scene isn't quite as... It still exists, but it's not as strong in Manchester.
No, definitely.
So that's when I got into more like fashion.
Yeah, Manchester
bloggers,
really
that
kind of fashion and blogger focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. I can't see how in Manchester you would make as much of a living if you didn't shoot fashion.
Yeah, you kind of have to just do it. Yeah.
Or the vast majority of my like fashion work comes, if not from Manchester, then it's shot in Manchester or around Manchester. Like this week, I was here yesterday shooting. Well, I shot in Rochdale and in the city centre yesterday. Shot here this morning, shooting here on Friday.
Yeah.
I just can't virtually live in Manchester.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the best thing about your job?
I think there's a lot of good things about being a photographer. A lot of good things about being a freelancer.
Yeah.
How much like you get to manage your own time.
Massive.
Yeah, like today we were going to do a shoot, but then it was meant to rain. It's not raining, but it was meant to, so we decided to do this, and it's just like the flexibility of what you can and can't do.
Absolutely.
I think the people you meet as well. Like I've been very lucky to meet a lot of really cool people because of my job.
Yeah.
When I was under 18, having a camera got me into a lot of over 18 gigs.
That's an answer that nobody has ever given before. It got me into over 18 gigs.
I met Stormzy when I was 17 at plus 18 gig.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I think people don't question your age because I look about 14, but people don't question it because of what I do.
Yeah.
Or unless they do, they just don't say it to me.
You have the talent of a much older person.
So, yeah.
And on the flip side of that, what would you say is the worst thing? Or no, worst is a bad way to look at it. One of the negatives of being a freelance photographer.
I think there's also a lot of negatives as well as positives. Like the inconsistency you can sometimes have in work. Although in the last year I've been pretty lucky. In other years I've not been so lucky.
Yeah.
And also you don't know when your luck's going to run out. Like I could have no
work.
Yeah, absolutely. the what was the other one I was going to say? What was the question?
The negatives of being a freelance photographer.
And I said the.
So you said about the inconsistencies, so like not knowing when.
Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say is, like, as a creative, I think you still need to have a creative output when photography is your job.
Yes.
Because otherwise you get all consumed and it's very easy to burn out. Because before, I think maybe photography was my creative outlet, but now it's my job and it's everything I do. It can get a bit. You don't want to be doing it 24/7 sometimes.
Yeah, I completely and wholeheartedly agree with that. For the past sort of 6 months, I've managed to not do this, but especially the back end of last year, I got to a stage where I wasn't excited to pick my camera up, and I've always been excited to pick my camera up, even when it's been for work. And when I made a sort of a list of goals for this year back in January, one of them was make sure that I do at least one personal project every month with my camera that's just for me. It's not for a client, it's not for anybody else's benefit, it's just for me, so that I'm not always picking my camera up for somebody else.
Yeah.
But also it's taking time away from the camera, which, like you say, if you're a creative, you're obviously that kind of person, and like you say, if you've got another way that you can express that, then yeah, I think that's definitely something that's going to be a positive. For you, obviously, like you say, with your background in graphic design, for me, I have no ability in any other creative art whatsoever.
You just haven't found it yet, that's all it is.
Well, I can't draw, I can't paint. I could probably colour in.
There we go.
I'll have to get a colouring book.
Yeah, and like you said as well, like, although I feel very privileged to get the commercial work, it can sometimes feel like you're a bit like swamped down by it, because it's not you don't have as much creative freedom in commercial work, always, anyway. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not grateful for getting it.
No,
I am.
No, but it's just being realistic about it, which is if you get booked for a job, you have to fulfil the brief from that client.
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of the time, a client will come to you specifically for the way that you shoot, or your style, or your kind of creative vision. But sometimes they will just come with a brief and say,
"You need to
fulfil that brief, please."
Yeah.
And you just have to say, "Do you know what? I've been hired to do a job. This is the job."
Yeah, absolutely.
And then just go into group chat and bitch and moan about it
Yeah.
afterwards. So what about the future? What does the future hold for Sophia J. Carey?
The future holds buying the Sophia Carey from the girl that actually currently has it. Won't give it to me. I think just continuing with what I'm doing, seeing where it takes me. I'm in my 3rd year at uni, so hopefully when I finish, I can just keep doing this. Like that's kind of the aim, to just keep this as my full-time job.
But you're not allowed to move back to London because you're too far away then.
Yeah, I can't afford to anyway, so I'm here for the foreseeable future.
The squad stays intact.
I think, I want to learn more, like I want to get into video a bit more, and just kind of like explore like the different avenues that you can go with photography. But
that's
other than that, just keep going.
Yeah, the video thing, that's something for me as well. And also something for me, probably more for next year when I have time, is what we were talking about earlier, which is looking at different formats of photography. So medium format, working with film. Working with film is something I wanted to do more of this year, and I've just not had a chance. But I've not had a chance for a positive reason, because I've been really busy. And work's picked up more than I anticipated to. So that's something that I'm happy to move to next year.
I usually take a film camera to my normal shoots and just take like a couple per shoot. Like I've got some film developed now, to be developed now, and I cannot remember what's on it because I've had it like.
That is good though, because I've noticed that, especially if you shoot 36 exposure film, and if you're doing like exactly that, because I've done the same, which is take it to a couple of shoots, shoot maybe literally 3 or 4 exposures, and then move on.
And
then I've got it developed and realised that like the first 8 images are pictures of my nephews.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I really remember taking these. But no, there's definitely a lot of different areas to move into.
Yeah, medium format's definitely something I want to look at getting into. It's just, I think it's daunting when you try and change format unless you've got someone there to like guide you through it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely.
Especially when it's so expensive to do so.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just pick up like a 30 quid camera and be like, right.
Even like, I got last Christmas I got a Kodak Instax, and I purposely got the manual one, so there's no autofocus on it, nothing like that. The only electronical thing on it is the flash. That's it. And even that's literally it's just point and shoot, but because there are different modes and because it's not autofocus, the different modes judge where the focus is. Even learning to do that, because of how expensive Instax film is, I think it worked out at something like £1.37 per shot.
Yeah.
So if you're taking 5 shots to practice to get one right, all of a sudden you're looking at like £8-9 to take one photo.
Absolutely. And it's not even just a film, like we were talking about medium format cameras. I don't want to buy like a grand camera and then mess it up and realise it's not for me.
It's a dangerous risk to take, isn't it?
Yeah.
We both need to find somebody that's got a Mamiya, so
that
we can have a go on it and see what it's like.
Yeah, someone that has all the knowledge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, what about springing this one on you? What do you think sort of about the industry at the moment and sort of the state that it's in and how things are?
The industry in Manchester or the industry as a what I've experienced?
We'll go for Manchester because that's where, like you said, the majority of your work. Apart from when you're back home.
What do I think of the industry? I think the industry in Manchester, from my experience, is very different to the industry in London.
I can imagine that.
But I think for reasons that people wouldn't expect.
All right.
Because I think people would expect London to be more competitive, but I actually don't think it is. I think what it is that in Manchester you've got a lot more people in a smaller space.
Yeah.
There's only a certain amount of jobs going about. There's only a certain amount of locations you can shoot in, and you've got the same amount probably of photographers shooting in London. But in London it's a lot bigger space with a lot more opportunities. So I think in Manchester, I think it's more competitive. Yeah.
I can see that, and I think I've seen both sides of the coin. There's been photographers that have tried to sort of badmouth me or undercut me. I say photographers, a photographer that tried to badmouth me and undercut me, and thankfully people saw straight through it. But then on the flip side, for me, the vast majority of people that I've met in the industry in Manchester have been like you, like Megan, like Iz, like Rob Connor. They've been nothing but sort of helpful, but I do know that there are other people in Manchester that have had sort of people that have, again, badmouthed them, undercut them.
Yeah.
I think for me the issue with the industry in Manchester is the same as the industry in most places, which is it's a very saturated market.
Of course it is, yeah.
And the problem with it is there will always be somebody that will do what you do, but better. Well, not what you do, sorry. There will always be somebody that is better at photography.
Yeah, of course.
But there is also always somebody that will do it cheaper.
Yeah, and I think that has a detrimental effect wherever you are, but in Manchester again, because it is a smaller area.
It's so condensed, isn't it?
If you've got people doing it for like dirt cheap or for free or whatever, it's almost easier to find that person as a client and pick them out, and it makes it difficult for everyone else.
I think it devalues the art. Literally, it devalues the art of photography.
Of course it does, yeah.
Which is if let's say for example the engine blew on your car, so you can take it to a garage and they're going to do it for you. Or somebody says, bring it here and I'll do it for free. not going to take it to the person that says I do it for free, because you think, why on earth are you doing this for free?
Yeah, like why?
What how? What are you benefiting from that? But for some reason with photography, it's so common for people to offer to work for free, and I appreciate that when starting out. When I started out, I didn't charge for my work because I was just starting out. But also, I wouldn't be taking on jobs from companies or brands or anything like that. I'd be working with individuals on a TFP, time for print basis, where it's beneficial to both people.
Yeah.
But I think the issue with it is there's people where photography isn't their profession, it's a hobby. Where they don't feel that they either can or need to make an income from it.
Yeah.
They just say, I'll just do it for free.
And I think maybe there's not enough information for people starting out in the industry as to how they can start out without offering stuff for free. I think that's the thing as well. Like, you don't have to. It might be an easy way to build a portfolio, but it's not the only way you can build a portfolio.
Absolutely.
And like you said, it does devalue it, and I think, especially with like the rise of like iPhone cameras and stuff like that, people who aren't creatives might not realise the importance of having a good image.
Yes.
Like for your brand or your campaign or your Instagram or whatever it is you want an image for. If you're not a creative, then you might not really understand that having a good image opposed to one that you got for free that might not be as good.
Definitely.
Could be the make or break of your
100%,
marketing.
100%.
So I think
although those people, when you show them the images, they go, "Oh, you must have such a good camera."
Yeah, definitely.
But that's for another video.
Yeah.
So, where can we find you online?
Just about anywhere. Instagram I post daily and on my story. YouTube I've got a lot of content up there. You find me on Twitter. You find me.
I need to start using Twitter more.
Yes, do you know what I think as a creative? It's great because on Instagram when you like a photo, it's contained within that photo.
Yeah.
On Twitter when you like or retweet something, it's literally shared to a new audience.
Yeah.
So I think
That's one for the bloopers.
I think that using Twitter is a more effective way of networking.
Yeah, I really need to use Twitter more.
Yeah.
I will not, from moving forward from now on, along with all my other links, I will start putting Twitter in my bio.
Yeah.
In the description, sorry. Speaking of which, everything that Sophia just mentioned there, so her Instagram, her YouTube, her Twitter, and her website as well, will be on there. Speaking of her website, I'm going to do a free plug for her. Sophia sells her presets.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
I will plug this. Sophia's presets are fantastic. And,
Thank you.
I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with her. I actually purchased her presets and use kind of a modified one of her presets that I've kind of tweaked myself for my wedding photography. So yeah, they're the most expensive photos that I do. So if you ever wanted a bit of a plug, there you go.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
But aside from that, thank you very much for
Thank
today.
you, yeah.
Thank you guys. Let me know in the comments who else you want to see on this series. And I'll see you in the next one.